Welcome to an introduction to the talking drums of the Yoruba of southwestern Nigeria. These talking drums are from a family of drums. We're going to meet the family. But firstly, just a brief word on the talking drums. The talking drums, many hundreds of years old, and initially played by people who were actually born into the Ayan family, people who bear the name Ayan, which means the drummer. And but now, of course, it's spread. More people are playing the drums, but significantly, these are called talking drums because we actually speak with the drums, speak Yoruba language, and there's thousands of proverbs, praises, insults, so many different things that can be said with the drum. And traditionally, these drums will be played by people who perhaps would follow the king or dignitaries, and the drummers would send the messages to the king and from the king to the people. Also used in warfare, many different uses for the drums. One of these reasons these drums have survived so long as well, despite being banned by the British colonialists who realized how powerful the messages were, is that also they've crossed boundaries, religious boundaries. So unlike, for instance, bata drums, which are rooted in Shango worship, but also they have moved a little bit. These drums are a lot more fluid in terms of crossing genres and social context. So they've come a long way, and now in these days they're played a lot in churches as well. So there's different pathways that this drum has taken. What we're going to do now is meet the family of drums, because very importantly they are structured in and play different roles. First Yoruba drum, not a talking drum, but in fact a bowl-shaped drum called gudu gudu, which technically would be in the bata family. However, this one is the roots of the support for all of the talking drums. You can see this drum, like, as I said, a bowl shape, also has this paste in the middle called ida, which actually gives one tone in the middle and then allows the rest of the drum to have a different tone. And they're actually played, gudu gudu are usually worn around the neck. I'm sitting down right now, and it's played with these two twisted pieces of skin. So here's the first talking drum.
Yalu.
This is the drum that gave birth to the other drums. So naturally, it's the mother, it's the female, the biggest drum. And you can see I've got this attached, these bells attached. We call them Sharuwoide. That's the name of the band that contains the bells, the Sharuwoide, which is for extra sound effect, which you're going to hear in a minute, and also for special occasions, and again, if I'm playing it for somebody very important. Okay, so the drum has a very deep sound. Let's go to the next member of the family. Next we have
Ishaju.
In fact, Ishaju comes with a partner, with a like a twin, and this is a support drum. You'll see that it's tied up because this drum doesn't usually actually talk. It plays a support role, and there's different rhythms that this drum would play. Let's have a look at its partner here. The key thing is that one person, one drum. So each player would play quite a simple pattern, and what we get is the combination of many people playing different patterns. So if I play something else. Next we have the Adamo. This is the size of drum that you're more likely to see, and is also the one that is probably more versatile because it's got the full tonal range, and yet it's very small and portable. This drum would normally be considered a lead drum, even though the mother is technically the lead. The last born of the family are the omele drums. Omele actually refers to the role they play. So many different drums could play omele. Again, you'll see them tied up. They don't usually speak. These are support drums. Sometimes people play two at once, but quite often you have many omele players. One instrument that you'll see hanging up on the wall the whole time. Let's have a look at the shekere. The shekere, the Yoruba instrument, a large calabash with cowrie shells around the belly. There's a whole tradition of shekere music. This is joining the talking drums, not actually part of the family. Many different ways to play this as well. Quite simply, as a support. So the Yoruba talking drum is carved in an hourglass shape. In fact, before the tree would be cut down that made the drums, a prayer would be offered to Ayan, the god of drumming, to see whether it was even okay to cut the tree. You'll also see inside, just here and down there as well, which is a carving of the house of Ayan. Okay, so once the wood is there, then the skin goes on. So let's look at how we wear the drum and get a sound from the drum. So you put it on over your shoulder. If it's a leather strap, it pretty much sits there. If it's a towel strap, we tend to twist it before we put it on so that it really grips. And obviously you put it over the shoulder, the opposite side than you're actually going to be playing with. So a right-handed drummer wears it over his left shoulder, left-handed drummer wears it over his right shoulder. And I've just said his. Yeah, traditionally just men play these, but now there's a lot of female drummers, talking drummers, very good ones as well. So the thumb tends to go just here under, can you see, behind the strap, and the fingers rest across here. The reason for that is why we don't, for instance, just do this, is because we actually use this hand for percussion, for rolls, for muting notes, as we'll have a look in a moment. So if we play the drum in the middle, so there's no squeezing, they sound completely flat. If it's not flat, then you might have been wondering what this string is for. If it's not flat, this string is wound around the drum, pulled tight, and the drum is left for, could be hours, it could be days, for the skin to actually relax. Okay, so once the drum is ready to play, it actually has no sound at all by itself without somebody squeezing it. And the elbow goes down and up to get the full tonal range. So a drummer has to know where the notes on the drum are simply by getting to know the drum, because it's like a fretless instrument, there's no markings on it. So if I wanted to sing a tune, there's no notes for me to look at, I have to feel it. So for instance, let's try something. Okay, so you can see once you know the drum, you can pretty much play any note. Let's look at what the left hand does as well. So if I was to play a rhythm, it often plays the opposite of what the stick is playing. It can also be used for rolls, and also just to mute the drum for slaps. The edge of the drum can also be played using the curve of the stick. So what I'm going to do now with the assistance of Biola is demonstrate how the drum would actually pronounce, and the people, once they understand what the drum is saying, would repeat what the drum has said. Sometimes it is the other way around, but traditionally it's actually the drummer who's supposed to know what to say, know what the appropriate song is at that time, and the people would join. So let's have a look at some proverbs now.
Káàbọ̀, ṣé dáadáa ló dé, a ti ń retí rẹ o káàbọ̀, ṣé dáadáa ló dé. Mo tún ní káàbọ̀, ṣé dáadáa ló dé, a ti ń retí rẹ o káàbọ̀, ṣé dáadáa ló dé. àfẹ́ni tá bá sọ fún àfẹ́ni tá bá fi hàn ló lè mọ adìyẹ funfun nínú ata àfẹ́ni tá bá sọ fún. wọ́n wá wọn ò rí wọ́n lé wọn ò bá ọ̀nà tó gbégbà tómi fi wọnú àgbọn wọ́n wá wọn ò rí. ọba tó ẹ̀rù ọba ni mo bà ọba tó. òun èṣù lẹ́lẹ́jọ́ òun èṣù lẹ́lẹ́jọ́ aláǹgbá tó dúró sórí èṣù òun èṣù lẹ́lẹ́jọ́. àwa lọ́lọ́run fún àwa lọ́lọ́run fún ẹnìkan tọrọtọrọ ọlọ́run ò fún àwa lọ́lọ́run fún. ojú ajá ni ò tó ojú ajá ni ò tó ìjímèrè tó lóhùn ò lérè sá ojú ajá ni ò tó. mi ò ní sí ń bẹ̀ mi ò ní sí ń bẹ̀ níbi wọ́n pé sórí burúkú mi ò ní sí ń bẹ̀. ọlọ́pàá fi wá sílẹ̀ iṣẹ́ gidi wà níta ẹ fi wá sílẹ̀ ẹ lọ wáṣẹ́ ṣe ọlọ́pàá fi wá sílẹ̀ iṣẹ́ gidi wà níta ẹ fi wá sílẹ̀ ẹ lọ wáṣẹ́ ṣe. ọ̀gbẹ́ni London la wà kì í ṣe Òṣogbo mo ní London la wà kì í ṣe Èkó. ọmọdé ju beef sílẹ̀ géńdé ju beef sílẹ̀ àwa ń lọ ó dìgbà ó ṣe ká má fi kú yàrá wa ká má fàrùn yàrá wa àwa ń lọ ó dìgbà ó ṣe.